Alright, Joe here, welcome back to We Need to Talk. Of course, this is the show that looks at football on the internet over the past 7 days. 7 days that's seen Liverpool sign Thiago for 20 million quid. Kill me.
Now, we know that a deal has been agreed with Bayern Munich. Various figures have been bandied about today, but what we're told is that that deal is £20 million across the length of the contract, with the potential for £5 million in add-ons.
Scotty Parker basically on his knees for the Fulham board to sign some new players.
We need players in for sure, obviously. I think that's clear, and I think everyone at the football club are trying our hardest to see where we need improving.
And Jadon Sancho to Manchester United become even more unlikely. Kill me again.
Our understanding now that it is more unlikely than likely. Manchester United would not be willing to meet the £108 million valuation that Borussia Dortmund have.
Anyway, today we need to talk about Gareth Frank Bale. He is back, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, the greatest player in Tottenham's modern history. Actually, maybe competing with Kane now. I've literally just thought of that. I think Harry Kane might even be a level ahead of him. I'm not too sure. But anyway, he's in contention, isn't he? He has returned to London 7 years after being sent to Madrid for £85 million in one of the most expensive transfers in history. So today we're going to have a look at the deal as a whole, what went wrong at Madrid, how he fits into the team, and ask the all-important question: is it a good signing? Yes or no? Let me know your thoughts in the comments right now. Let's start with the deal, because, you know, after 7 years of football, Spurs have finally replaced Bale with Bale. I mean, if you look back at that list of players that Spurs bought with the Gareth Bale money, I think maybe only Eric Lamela is still at the club, and Bale's definitely going to start ahead of him. Now, he rejoins Spurs on an initial 1-year loan deal, with Spurs said to be paying between 40 and 50%, depending on the report, of his monstrous £600,000 a week wage at Real Madrid. And let's not forget that Bale's joined Spurs at the same time as his Real Madrid teammate, Sergi Reguilon, who's joined the club for €30 million. It's like a really good bit of business. The only probable drawback is that buyback clause that Real Madrid have got inserted into the deal at around 40 million quid. So they might not have him for too long, but a little bit like Bale, I think in the short term, this is a pretty solid move. Overall, it takes the club's spending on Højbjerg, on Doherty, Bale, Reguilon, Hart to 50 million quid, which is not totally bad business for 5 players when you consider, you know, they spent 55 million on Ndombele last season, and as good of a footballer as he is, he can't start a match under Mourinho, so it's a waste having him there. Alright, so we've got the deal ticked off, but what actually went wrong at Madrid? Well, to be honest with you, where the do we start? Firstly, and most recently, there's obviously been no love lost whatsoever between Zinedine Zidane and Gareth Bale, or Florentino Perez for that matter, and it was all highlighted, wasn't it, in that one interview Gareth Bale gave earlier this summer.
As I said, I tried to leave last year. They blocked everything at the last second, so it was a project that I was excited for last year, but yeah, it didn't materialise. So and there's been other instances where we've tried to go, but the club won't allow it, or they've done something. So yeah, I guess it's for the club.
But I mean, if you rewind the clock back to when he first joined Madrid, in his first 4 seasons, he won 3 Champions Leagues. He scored some of the biggest goals in the club's modern history. I think of that one in the Copa del Rey. I think of the Champions League final goals as well. After all, there are arguments to be made that Bale is a Real Madrid legend. I'm sure Real Madrid fans in the comments going, absolutely no chance, no way, but this is a player that's won 2 La Ligas, he's won 4 Champions Leagues, he's scored in 2 Champions League finals, he's scored over 100 goals for the club. I mean, I hear Real Madrid fans calling Guti a legend. If Guti's a legend, how is Bale not a legend? However, look, there have been some undeniable troubles with the fans. I can remember him being booed warming up, I can remember his car being attacked, and you would say, if you're being honest, that he never really had the warmest of welcomes at the Bernabeu. But it's not all been Madrid's fans' fault. I mean, Bale has to take some blame for the fallout. I think the fact that he never really learnt Spanish, definitely a bugbear. I mean, there's a video on Twitter yesterday that absolutely killed me.
English, ¿cuál 3 cosas llevas contigo en tu equipaje?
I don't have a clue what you said.
Then, of course, there was the Wales Golf Madrid in that order flag, which obviously pissed a lot of people off. And just in general, you know, his injury record and I would say an attitude of I'm not too arsed about Real Madrid has definitely turned a lot of fans off him, and plenty of fans will be happy to see the back of him. Some fans, though, I think the realistic ones will say, you know what, he's been a bloody good servant for Madrid. Forget Madrid, though, he's a Tottenham player now, so where is he going to be used under Jose Mourinho in this Tottenham squad? In an attack that already features Harry Kane, Son, Moura, Bergwijn, Dele Alli. Well, I think he'll probably be off the right, but either way, Jose Mourinho is going to be absolutely buzzing to have him because he tried to sign him in the past.
I tried to sign him for Real Madrid, which was not possible to do during my time there. But the president followed my instinct and followed my knowledge, and the season I left, he brought Gareth to the club.
So yeah, as I said, the most likely option for Bale is going to be on that right-hand side. In a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3, I can see him playing as a front three with Son, Kane and Gareth Bale on that right-hand side, cutting in on his left as he used to do for Tottenham Hotspur. Will also, let's get there eventually, allow Doherty to get on that overlap, which he was so dangerous at for Wolverhampton Wanderers. Why did I say Wolverhampton Wanderers, not just Wolves? Nightmare. Okay, so that brings us nicely on to the big question. Is he going to be a success at Tottenham Hotspur? Former manager Harry Redknapp, he certainly thinks so.
Yeah, I think it'll be great for Tottenham, great for the Premier League, and it'll be a great move for Gareth. He needs to be playing. I mean, you know, it's a waste of a great talent to see him not involved and in the team at Real Madrid.
Now, as positive as Harry was there, I'm going to start with the negatives. Yes, I accept he's 31. Which we at Football Daily would usually see as a drawback. But let's face it, this is a one-year loan deal. It's a short-term deal, not a long contract deal. So, to me, 31 years old, that kind of feels a little bit redundant because he's not going to be there a long time. And yes, I agree, £300,000 a week is a big old wage. I think it's £100,000 a week more than his closest earner, which is Harry Kane and Tanguy Ndombele, by the way. But nevertheless, if you're Harry Kane and Ndombele, I think you're looking at Bale as a club legend, as an icon coming into the team right now. And it's going to give everyone a huge lift across the board. I've seen people comparing this with, United really broke their wage structure for Alexis Sanchez. Yeah, but Alexis Sanchez wasn't brought in on a one-year loan deal. If this goes tits up, he's out of the club at the end of the season anyway. Alexis Sanchez was here long term. That's what cucked Manchester United. So that brings us to the positives. Firstly, in my opinion, he's better than Lucas Moura. I think Lucas Moura has only once hit double figures in a Premier League season since he joined Tottenham Hotspur. In reality, and in Jose Mourinho's mind, I think Lucas Moura is a backup. And I think if he could get a player that would really drive the team forward, Lucas Moura would drop out. And that's probably what Bale is. I also think, as I said at the start, I would rather spend £15 million for a season of Gareth Bale than £15 million on 2 seasons of Troy Deeney or 2 seasons of Salomon Rondon. Whatever's going to happen potentially with that backup number 9, Gareth Bale is surely a better option. Because I'm backing him to get 10 to 15 goal involvements this season. And I think 10 to 15 goal involvements would be a positive, given that he's also going to add such a lift of confidence to the rest of the squad that they should be improving better anyway. Because it can't be any worse after week 1 and that Everton shambles. So to me, this is going to be a hit of a signing. I'm putting my neck out on the line. I think Bale is a good move for Tottenham Hotspur. But what do you guys think? Hit or miss? Let me know in the comments below. Alright, so that's it for today's episode of We Need to Talk. If you did enjoy it, hop over to Continental Club where they're discussing some of Europe's biggest talking points. Thanks very much for watching. I'll catch you later.